Bloomies are forever.
Hi everyone, I'm Melissa.
I'm Karen.
My mom is here, so we thought we would decorate some cookies today and ask her some interview questions. Hi Mom.
Hi, sweetie.
So we are doing Grandma in a Box, which I love. We have a list of questions for you as well as some Instagram questions.
Very fun.
Okay.
Very, very fun.
So we're gonna put a little plop of chocolate. I don't know how big the chocolate's supposed to be. We'll see. How am I going to interview you and concentrate on this? So the first question is to introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
My name is Karen, like I've said, and I am Lavender Clothes Line. And I am a full-time eBay seller. I've been selling about 5.5 years, probably 3.5 of those full-time.
And how many items do you have in your shop currently, roughly?
Probably around 3,300, most of them being pre-owned items.
Can we all just be in amazement at 3,300 items? My mom mostly does this by herself, and recently you hired a helper.
I did. I have my middle daughter, Lisa, Melissa's sister, helping out probably about 5 to 8 hours a week. She's taking photos for me now, doing a great job. So thank you, Lee.
Seriously. The second question is, how did you get into reselling?
It was kind of by mistake. Mistake? That's good.
How did you get into reselling? Take two.
Well, I was finishing up a job. I used to manage a fitness studio, and I was making a move. I was moving to a different state, so I was looking for something to do during the move. And I have a daughter who sold on eBay, and she said, "Hey Mom, why don't you sell on eBay? I'll help you out." And I said, "Okay, I'll give that a shot."
So you started about 5 years ago, we figured out. And how did you first get started?
Well, originally, I had never heard of thrift stores. Where I was located, there just wasn't an abundance of Goodwills or thrift stores. And Melissa came home one semester from college, and she had a cute blouse on. And I said, "Oh, sweetie, that's a cute blouse." And she said, "Oh, thanks, I got it at the thrift store." And I hesitated for a brief moment because I had never heard of thrift stores. And then it registered, and I said, "You're wearing somebody else's clothing?" And she said, "Yeah, you'd like it, Mom." And I said, "Do you need money?" And she laughed and she said, "No, you'd like thrifting." And the rest is history.
And this was before mainstream internet, because I went to college in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it wasn't like everybody knew about everything nowadays and you could just Google something.
Yeah.
So if you didn't live by a thrift shop or have family members that shopped there, you really wouldn't know about it back in our day.
Back in our, yeah. I'm sure we have the same day. Melissa helped me out. Melissa was back in Pennsylvania and I was on Long Island. And I called eBay and instructed them that I wanted to sell on eBay, and it wasn't going to work out for me just to list 10 items. So
yeah, that's how many they started you out with.
I think so.
It might be 50 now, so if you're opening a new account, it might be somewhere between 10 or 50, but you got started with 50, but you called.
Yes, I called and I said, "I'd really like to list more. I want to do this, more hardcore." And I got switched 3 times. I was on the phone for like an hour, and by the end of that call, they gave me 200 available listings, and away I went. And I think I went to the thrift store the next day and bought like 100 items. So it was all craziness. It was fun.
We were kind of figuring out what to ask and just not really going through the entire thing, but I remember, I don't have a ton of memories, but I remember specifically sitting at our dark wood kitchen table with a laptop showing you eBay. And at that point, I started really in like 2002, maybe 2001, somewhere around there. So I had probably been selling, could that possibly be?
Yeah, I remember you.
About 8 to 10 years, not full time, but just off and on. And then eventually I went full time.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's amazing that that much time has gone by, and we've just sold a lot of stuff.
Especially you. And at the beginning, you had 200 listings available. And how many items do you think you bought at that first thrift shop trip?
I want to say it was between 75 and 100 items, and I had no idea what I was buying. I didn't understand what comps were. I never heard sell what's around your house. It was just jumping into the deep end of the pool and saying, okay, I'm going to go to the thrift store and buy. I bought the worst items. I came home with stuff, and Mellissa was so encouraging. And you said, what did you get, Mom? And I started naming names like, oh, I got this cute Alfred Dunner sweater. And she was so kind to me. She was like, that's great.
I remember telling you, buy things that are really cute.
Well, cute to me and cute to her were two different things. Yeah.
Anything with a novelty print, I was very much about at that time.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't say St. John or Chanel. Cute things.
Oh.
You made one flower pop.
Oh, am I supposed to be on this? Okay. I can't talk
No, me neither. This might have been a bad idea.
No, it's good.
Okay, next question. So tell us what an average day or average week looks like for you at this point with over 3,000 listed items.
So naturally, I'm just an early riser, so I'm usually up by 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I go to bed early.
That's what time my husband goes to bed.
Yeah. When I stay here, we're like two ships passing in the night. So I wake up very early, and I do take a little bit of time. I'm on Instagram and just waking up a little bit, but I pretty much get right into it. I check my emails. I check my feedback every morning to make sure there aren't any big problems. I guard my feedback very carefully. Some people think it...
And she has 100% feedback.
Not quick, because we know that can change in a minute.
Yeah, so true.
So I do that. I check emails. I answer customer questions, and then I ship out. I get right into shipping because my postal carrier that picks up my shipping comes usually between 8:30 and 9:30. So if I have a lot of packages that I've sold, I really have to be on it even the night before. But I'm shipping fairly early in the morning when I wake up. I'm usually drinking coffee, shipping.
You mentioned Instagram, so I will have a link below, as well as my mom's name, No, that's my name. My mom's name, Lavender Clothes Line. You post amazing things, and we'll get back to your schedule and what you do, but oh my goodness, I know most people go to the thrift shop, I'm one of them, and look for certain labels or certain things, but you're buying sometimes off-the-wall items and selling them for crazy high prices. I mean, you are really one of the sellers that stick out in my mind as not being the average run-of-the-mill, Poshmark, buy jeans and distress them kind of seller.
Oh yeah, no, there's no distressing jeans for me at this point.
Tell us some of your more unusual,
whatever these things are called.
Tell us some of your more unusual finds recently, if you could think of
Okay, I don't know about it recently, but one that sticks out in my mind is deodorant. I was in a thrift store and I saw a closed brown box, and most of the people that I see that go thrifting, they don't bother to open the boxes. I always open closed boxes. So I opened a box probably about this size, and I looked in, and there were 3 deodorants somebody had bought through, it looked like a mail order company, and they were sealed, and it was called Native Deodorant. I'd never heard of Native Deodorant. It's a natural product, and I said, okay, because the market is so saturated with common things, I go for the unusual. So not that I don't sell common, I certainly sell common brands, but yeah, so I sold those 3 deodorants for, I think it was $40-something, $42 for 3 deodorants.
I know.
And it sold like that. So I have a tendency to look for the unusual.
You really do. And I'm going to put up your Instagram posts on the screen as we talk and just scroll through some of the things.
Okay.
Because you post kind of what you find, not everything, but some of the more fun things. And then you follow up and tell us what they sold for.
Yeah, I like to do that. I like to show you guys something crazy that I found and then say I'll report back to, because, I mean, what am I going to show? Like J. Crew jeans, like, yeah, everybody has that, and we all know kind of what they're selling for, but yeah, I like the
Tell us about the belt.
Oh, that's a fun story. So I pretty much don't shop at the bins, and I'm sure all of you know what the bins is, but it's where you pay by weight, by pound, and it's kind of like just these big plastic bins that everything gets dumped into. But so I don't really shop that way. I don't have that kind of time, but I do have friends that shop that way. So once in a while, I'll pop in to say hi to my friends, and quite often they play jokes on me. They throw things in my cart when I'm not looking. So this one time a friend threw in this belt. It was a brown suede leather belt part, and it had two, I guess they were brass hands that when you buckled it, they clasped. And I thought that was so unusual when I saw it, and I looked up and the person who had thrown it in was cracking up, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna buy that. I've never seen that before. And I came home. The belt wound up selling. It did take a while, but I believe I got $450 for it, plus shipping. It went international, if I remember. So that was very exciting. And it was just that I went on my gut instinct to buy it originally.
You do that a lot. You look for quality, unique items.
Yes.
I think that's what I always see with you. I'm like, you know, Forever 21 dress that retailed for $24.99, and you're like high quality, well-made products that might not necessarily have a following. They might, but they sell on quality.
I think so. I love good craftsmanship, and I love when something is made out of, I'm going to call it organic materials. That's probably not the right term, but I love when it's stone, marble, wood, wool, things from the earth. Things like that, to me, are, you know, not to say you can't sell high-end plastic items.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you probably started out, you could correct me, so you started out with clothing, and now what categories do you sell in?
Well, put it this way, I don't sell cars. I stay away from electronics for the most part, because I don't like testing electronics, and I know nothing about electronics. Pretty much anything else is fair game.
Yeah, your knowledge has just grown over the years, and to see that, I am in awe of my mom, and all of you should be as well. Truly, she's amazing.
You're sweet.
So you ship items every morning, except probably Saturday, Sunday sometimes.
I just stopped Saturday. I was shipping 6 days a week, and now I do 5 days a week because I'm trying to give myself a little bit of a break.
And you were packaging everything from large china sets to tables to clothing to
Furniture.
shoes.
Yeah. 95 dishes. I remember the day I had to ship 95 dishes to one person, and I said to myself, just don't think about it. Just ship it.
That would take me all day, I feel like.
But the amazing part was, none of it broke. That was like a China miracle. Little China
That's
miracle
amazing.
right there. Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah. But not that I want to ship 95 dishes.
Nobody
It was fun
does.
collecting the money.
I know. One of your flowers is without a popsicle.
I know.
Did we
Without a
make too
stick.
many? Oh no. That's okay. Nobody's gonna care. Fair will eat them all.
Oh. Well, let me ask you, what's the most unusual thing that you've sold that stands out in your mind that you think you've sold? How many items have you sold now?
I'd have to check, but I'm gonna guess about maybe 25 to 30,000 at least. I had two accounts for a while. I shut the second down. It was back in the early start of eBay when people were having different shops for different reasons. And I can't remember, I think I'm probably up to like 13 or 14,000 feedback.
Oh my gosh. So they say that's usually a third to a half.
Yeah.
So that's a lot
I'd
of
have
items.
to check. It's a lot of items.
Yeah. Does anything stand out in your mind of what?
I think one of the favorite items for me was a Ralph Lauren cookie jacket. There go my questions. That I bought for under $10. I know. It was a thrift shop in Pittsburgh you actually came to.
Did I?
I think you still lived in New York.
Okay.
My mom and I lived in New York for a while, and then I went off to college, found my husband, married my husband, moved to Pennsylvania where he was from in a very small town. Then you lived in New York for years afterward, and you moved to Pennsylvania. And then I moved out of Pennsylvania.
Well, let's tell that story a little bit. Do
Okay.
we have time?
Yes.
Okay. So there I was on Long Island, New York. The kids, 3 children I have, Mellissa, Lisa, who does photos for me, and my son Dylan.
Yes.
So they were pretty much grown and gone.
My mom homeschooled us, and helped my father run a business. Amazing.
We're very glad those days are over. That was a lot of work. So eBaying 3,000 items, piece of cake. But so when it was time to sell the family home, because it was kind of just going to be me, I took where Mellissa was living in Western Pennsylvania, where Lisa was living. She was still on Long Island at the time, and my son, I believe, was in Manhattan. And I said, okay, I'm going to sell the house and kind of put a pin in the map between my 3 kids, because I just want to be with the kids. So I did that. The pin landed, and I drew on a paper map, drew a 15-mile radius
I didn't
around
even know this story.
that pin. And I said to Mellissa one time, I said, do you know where Lidditz, Pennsylvania is? She goes, oh yeah, that's the coolest town in America. That's what they're...
Oh, that's what they're known for.
Oh yeah, claim to fame.
I volunteered at a boarding school in Lidditz and went to college in Lancaster, and Lidditz was my favorite place to get hot dogs. That's the only time I really ate hot dogs, I think. I think they were like a quarter or 50 cents though. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's funny. But so I did. I made the move. I couldn't find a house in Lidditz, but I did that first year. I was fairly close to Lidditz, and since then, long story, very much longer. All 3 of those kids had moved from Pennsylvania, and I now own a home here. So just saying.
Yes. That's so true.
So here, but it's great you're in Florida because I get to come visit. And
Love
my
being in
son
Florida.
is now in North Carolina.
He made a move. He used to live in, well, he lived everywhere, but he was in Florida, and then he just moved. Yeah.
Yes, and Lisa is now back in Pennsylvania. She went and did a whole Colorado excursion.
An adventure, if you will.
Yes, she's our adventurer. She's been all over the world. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even know that story. That's so
I love
funny.
Pennsylvania though. It's a good state, good thrifting.
A
Yeah.
lot of snow.
Yes, not so good. We don't like snow.
Your house is beautiful, though.
Thank you.
And your basement. Tell us about your basement.
So when I first moved to Pennsylvania, I rented the house for a year looking for a small home to purchase. I knew I was going to settle in Pennsylvania no matter what the kids were doing, crazy kids. And I went to the real estate and they asked me what I was looking for, and I said I need good lighting and I need storage capability. And I told them what I was doing, that I was selling, and the purpose of buying the house was to resell out of the house because I knew I didn't want to go to a warehouse every day. Props to you guys that are having warehouses and going to a storage facility or warehouse.
Amazing.
That is amazing. That really is. I wanted to store a great amount within the home. So so I found a house with a basement. My basement's I think it's about 1,400 square feet. And my personal items are about in this much space, and the eBay items take over the whole house.
And is it okay if I insert some footage from your Instagram about how you toured through the house and showed your storage? It is professional. It is not a few bins on the floor in a basement.
How many bins?
When I walked in,
it was. Let me tell you, because the house was built in 1950, and the prior owner, it was the home she and her husband, her newlywed husband, had built in 1951. Nothing had changed. So when I saw this house, it sounds sweet.
Charming.
It's really nice.
Unless you live in it.
So renovations have been going on at the same time, but I forgot the question.
How many bins do you have, and what does your storage look like?
Okay, so I think I'm up to 135 of the, don't quote me on this, 18 to 24 gallon tote. It's a good sized tote.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there's about capacity for 50 to 75 items, depending on the item size, in each tote.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And how do you label your totes so you can find items?
You know, as you're building a store, a lot of times you, meaning me, don't pre-think, what's going to be the best when you grow really big. Yeah. So my totes have Dymo labels on them that will say like small printed skirts, extra small dark skirts, and then we go on to small skirts. And that's, So I have to say it works out fairly well. Once in a while I can't find something.
With that many items.
And then we panic.
And you probably spend way too long looking for one item sold for $9.99.
Yes, yes, because I don't want to disappoint anybody, so we're going to find that skirt. Yeah. So somewhere early on, I listened to a podcast. I think it was a podcast the first time called Scavenger Life. I'm sure you guys all know Jay and Rayanne They're amazing. There are a couple that are, I believe they're in West Virginia.
Oh.
And their concept, I had never heard of it before, is kind of like the long tail pipeline. Their concept is you just add items to the store. You're not trying to quick flip anything. The average sale price is higher than a lot of the competition. But as you load your store, things are going to pop out the other end. And that's the store I want. They currently have 8,000. Did I say that?
No.
8,000 items. They're my heroes.
You're saying it like that, but you went from 0 to 3,300 with very little. It's okay, I think, if I say this.
Yeah.
Technological information, and you didn't grow up with computers. We
No.
didn't have computers. It's
I did
mind-boggling
not know how to cut and
quickly-
paste. I didn't know how to cut and paste when I started. I was like, what is cut and paste? I mean, it doesn't get much more.
So to go from 0 to maybe 200 when you first started to 3,000 plus items within a few years, you say 8,000 like it's, but you might be there.
I would like that. I don't know. I'd like to ship out what sells with
Yeah.
8,000 items, but so they don't know me. Scavenger Life doesn't know me, but they're my
They know
heroes.
you.
They're my. Hi guys, if you're. I want to come to their house and just watch their operation. So yeah. So my average selling price some weeks can be fairly low. It could be like $18 or $19, and then other weeks it's $42.
That's
$50.
per item,
Yeah.
your average sale price
Yes.
per item.
Yes.
So that is pretty amazing. As you know, my husband and I do this very part-time. We're finding things in the bins. We try different things. I have limited storage here. My average sales price is really around probably $12 to $18. So you're more than doubling that on a regular basis per item, and you're not spending more than I am mostly.
Yeah, I think my average purchase price is around $4.24.
Wow,
That's
to
about-
even know that.
Yeah, that's usually, yeah. Well, I shop at probably 12 to 15 different stores, and I know the prices of those stores. So it's very rare that I spend, more than that, because all of these stores have set, like, a woman's shirt is this much, or so it's kind of easy to figure out.
That's great that you have so many stores in your local area. So I got you off track, but we were talking about shipping. So tell us where you ship and about how many packages you're shipping on a regular basis, maybe weekly or monthly if you know those.
So I think my monthly amount, if I had to guess, is between $220 and $250 a month. So it's not really that high, you would think. You know what I'm
For that many
thousand.
items.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be, there's a formula, 1%, so it really should be 300. And I don't sell at a full 1%. And I think that's for stores that are more into quick flipping. So I'm a little bit of a slower
I
side.
agree.
My stuff does sit longer. Like the other day I sold something I've had over 2 years.
Wow.
But I got the full price, and the way I look at it is I either paid 10 cents for that listing per month, so $1.20 a year. So with the prices that I charge, it still works out mathematically better to hold on and be a little bit of a slower.
And not many items in your store are sitting years. Most of them probably sit
No, I'm
months.
turning over my whole store in about, I'm going to say about 15 months my whole store turns over.
That's pretty amazing for that level. So tell us where you ship and how you ship.
Okay, so I started out not shipping international at all because I was trying to get my feet wet. And then I heard about the global shipping program, so I participated in that. It was just my experience that customers were upset they were paying so much. So I said, okay, I'm going to try shipping, just directly.
And if you don't know about the global shipping program, which I'm sure everybody does, eBay, it's their program. They charge the customers more, and they're kind of a middleman. You ship your items to Kentucky. You might not even know they're eventually headed overseas, unless you know that address in Kentucky.
Right.
But you just have to get it to Kentucky, and eBay handles the rest. But they are charging customers a little bit more than if you just ship directly to them.
And there's probably big benefits, especially if you're a new seller. I would say use global shipping program.
Agreed.
Because shipping overseas is not hard, in my opinion. But there are certain countries that are a little bit more notorious for losing packages.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to stay away from those countries.
What countries are those?
Should I name them?
Name them.
So I don't ship to China, Russia, Italy, Africa, the whole continent of Africa, and parts of South America.
Agreed.
But I do ship quite a bit to Europe, Australia. Canada is huge for me. Yeah.
If you're
really.
looking to jump in past the global shipping program, I'd recommend Canada.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, even though the process is the same, if you ship to the UK or Canada, Canada just gets there a little bit more quickly in some instances. And
I think they're tracking.
English speaking.
Yeah, some
and
countries have tracking,
yeah.
some don't. Canada does. I've never had a problem with Canada.
I've never had a problem
Love
with
my
it.
Canadian buyers.
Yes. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Canada.
And those from Germany. I have a big following in
Yes.
Germany.
Yeah.
And by big following, I mean like 10 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Austria?
Yes.
Austria, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, so I'm shipping directly, and I haven't had too many problems. I do also ship my international packages in like bright pink poly mailers, so that if somebody international says, hey, I didn't get my package,
So smart.
I write them back and I say, please give it extra time. So I ask them to wait a little bit longer, and that in that email I let them know that your package is going to arrive in a hot pink poly mailer, which is very rememberable. Is that a word?
Memorable,
Like,
probably.
memorable. Yeah, your postal carrier is going to remember delivering it. In
Yeah.
other words, please don't pretend you didn't get the package. And then
Good
basically they find it. It's either, oh, it was at my neighbor's, or, you know,
Hot
oh, I
pink
just got
packaging.
it. Yeah,
Good tip.
so that's how we do that. But
So you have a whole shipping station set up, bubble wrap, you have all of the things.
all of the things, any things you can have, I want them.
Makes your life easier, I'm sure.
Oh, it does.
And you double box and you show some of that on your Instagram. I will put up your Instagram again. Just follow my mom on Instagram.
But a lot of it, I have to say, is figuring out, because I didn't know how to ship
Yeah.
95 pieces of China. There's YouTube videos. We have YouTube for everything, and Google.
Yeah.
Just Google it and YouTube it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
And
what I
watch
do.
me.
Yes.
So after shipping, I know sometimes, some days you go to thrift shops,
Yes.
and other days are you not going to thrift shops and more listing?
Yes.
What is
so
an average
I'm
week
going
or
to
so?
say when special sales are running, like a store is having 50% off,
Okay.
I always block that out on my calendar, whether it's on one of my
love
thrifting
that.
days or not. And I'm there. I'm number one in line almost always. So if there's 300 people, you're going to see me at the front of the line because I'm on it. I seem like this really mellow, like a little hyper, but English lady, not so much.
Yeah.
I like to get in, and I'm very serious, head down, and so, but on a general week, a regular week, I'm thrifting probably 3 times a week.
Okay.
But
And do you go in and out? Do you look for certain things? Are you there for multiple
I
hours?
actually have a route within the stores
You
that
do?
I do. I look for certain things. Naturally, the things that have the highest resale value,
Okay.
that's the department I'm hitting first.
And what department is that?
I don't know what I want to say.
Don't. Okay. It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Don't follow my mom around the store if you
No,
see
I'll
her.
say.
No, you don't have to say.
You know, it also depends too. Like one of the stores I frequent, they have 50% off day for senior citizens, 55 and older. I love being 58. Give me all the
Can you believe my
freebies.
mom is 58?
Look at the circles.
Ring light.
Yeah. Just follow around with the ring lighting. But I really have fallen into loving selling men's clothing. So I'm gonna hit the men's department, the leather
Nice.
shoes, high quality jackets, sports coats, and jeans. Men buy a lot. I ship more men's jeans probably than any other product.
And I mostly stay away from men's clothing. I think a lot of people focus on women's clothing or hard goods.
It's my experience that men buyers, this is probably gender bias. We got a piece of lint or something flying around. This is probably not politically correct to say, but men generally are happier with their purchase. And if they receive their jeans and they're a half inch shorter, then they don't care. Women just
Yeah,
care
that's
more
true.
about the fit and have a harder time fitting, it seems.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
men, as long as that waist fits and the length is halfway good, we're good.
We're good.
So yeah, and they're not looking for special logo. They just buy the jeans and
That's amazing.
yeah.
I'm sure if you looked at women's clothing on eBay as a whole and then looked at men's, there's probably less men's
Oh yeah.
items listed.
I would think so.
So yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So men's clothing, and I didn't start selling men's. I started with women's clothing, then I went to probably accessories. I'm going to say like scarves and that type of thing.
Sure.
Then shoes, then men's clothing, then hard goods came last.
Yeah. And you really know what you're doing in the form of all of those categories, but I love seeing your hard goods. Just the glasses and the teak, whatever, and just so unique, I think. So you go shopping sometimes. I know when I call you sometimes, you're there for hours and you pack a lunch.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So those days I'm up at 4. I ship out. I pack my food. Food is important. I bring chocolate covered espresso beans in case I don't have time to run and get coffee. I'm chewing on espresso beans, okay?
Crazy.
I bring extra chocolate covered espresso beans for all the workers. I always make sure I appreciate the thrift workers so much. They're great.
Yeah.
Build a relationship with your thrift store workers. And so if the store is really putting out inventory, I dig in my heels, I stay there. It's almost like I'm an employee there. Like I've stayed in one thrift store from opening 9 a.m. till 5:30 at night. I go out to my car for 15 minutes and eat a lunch and come back in.
Yeah, and you're getting cart after cart of items.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
My average is probably 3 to 5 cart loads, and as much as, I think my top one was probably 7 or 8 carts, but we're talking
That's incredible. And not only are you looking for discounts, but I know recently you purchased a very large gift card for Goodwill because they had where you got some like free money for every whatever you spent, you got a certain amount back. And you were in touch with the manager or supervisor to buy a very large, so that was almost what, 25% off?
20%. Yeah, so I wound up buying a $5,000 gift card, and for that $5,000, I got $1,000 card. So the $1,000 card, everything I bought was free, and then I used it on a 50% off sale.
So smart.
So yeah, and the stuff was great. So it's like, you know, you felt like I got this for free minus 50%. How does that
They're paying you to shop.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So on the days you thrift, you're there for a while, you have a lot of thrift stores you frequent, and then at night when you get home, are you exhausted?
Truthfully, not so much.
It's exciting.
It
stuff.
is. I still love it. I still get excited for a good find. I mean, some days I'm tired, but and so you invited me down to take a rest because I have to leave my house to take a rest. That's one thing with reselling. If you're doing it, you know, as your own business out of your home, it's hard to turn off. Yes. Yeah.
Especially when it's on your phone and you're carrying it around and Instagram and the fun things and people asking questions at all hours of the day.
Yeah. But even the long thrifting days, I try to get listings on religiously 6 to 7 days a week. So I'm listing every day. Now, some days it's not a lot. Some days I just manage to get 10 on. But I like to keep.
And I've heard that helps
algorithm
to list
pumping.
Yes.
Yeah, I find that to be true.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Next
How
project.
about our lollipops?
Okay.
We gave some away to Jason.
They're good.
Visited.
He was in out. He never has shoes on.
It's a country boy.
Okay. Should we make the next project?
Yes.
Okay. What is the next project? You're doing awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
Crunchy bird's nest. Oh, we're using the worms.
Okay.
Reheat the melting chocolate. Totally necessary, I'm guessing.
Well, can we do these, or is
Oh
this
yeah,
gonna be
let's do
harder?
that. No, that's awesome.
Because these are melting now, right?
Good.
And the third one, okay. And what are they telling us to do?
Just decorate. Use sprinkles.
Oh, fun.
Just sugar cookies. So there's bunnies, eggs. What do you have? It looks like a
birds.
Oh, it's
Is
a
that
bird.
You're so fancy. I don't even know
It's a clothing pattern. Use paisley in the keyword title.
Absolutely. I still love paisley.
Okay, I broke one of these.
I still feel like I should be interviewing you a little bit. I feel very rude for not asking her questions back.
A lot of people know. I have at this point over 100 videos. People know my life.
Let me just say, I'm going to say 80% of what I know, Melissa's taught me. And that's not false praise. I've called her, that first year of selling, I called her 10 times a day. So get yourself a Melissa when you first start out.
Maybe not me though.
Yeah. A different Melissa. Okay, all my cookies are there's your bird.
Okay.
And this is an egg?
Yes, and you have an egg and a bunny.
Okay.
Can we decorate and talk at the same time?
Probably.
So I think we're just decorating these.
Okay, I could do that.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, let's get all of these. We don't have a marshmallows anymore.
No. You want sanding sugars? What's
Oh,
this?
gold.
Oh, I think these are Jelly Bellies. Right? Don't those look like Jelly
Yeah,
Bellies?
they do. If there's a popcorn one, it's mine.
What are some tips you have for beginners, and what do you wish you knew from the beginning that maybe you've learned over time?
Okay, so tips, I probably don't have an original thought in my head, but I fully agree with selling what you have around the house to see if you like it. Do not go out to the thrift store and buy $200 worth of items. Everybody has. We have so much in this country. Just scout around your house, find what you have, sell your kids' toys, whatever, just to get started. How do you do that so well? That's so...
As a professional cake decorator.
Mine's not going to be too hard.
I'm going to make it into a paisley. I cut off the beak.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so, and ask your family members and friends, you know, what they have that you can have to sell. So that would be my biggest tip. And
Yeah, to learn the process.
yeah, to practice and make the mistakes on stuff you didn't have to pay for.
Exactly, and utilize your title. I see a lot of people, and I have a few people regularly message me asking me to review their store, which I'm glad to do when I have time, but utilize your title. So instead of aqua shirt, you might want to put v-neck, seashell, turquoise, aqua, blue. I mean, you really want to put
Yes.
as many descriptive words in your
Romantic.
title. Romantic.
I call everything romantic. I'll probably get in trouble for that too.
Equestrian.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes. Well, recently I said everybody wants to ride horses and be romantic. Who doesn't?
Yeah, I think those are great keywords. So yes, I agree. Try to find things and figure out photos. Try to have a fairly plain background if you're selling on eBay. I know people like to really put fun things in their background, but with eBay, it's actually better if you just show the item and not have a whole outfit when you're just showing a top.
Yes.
Because then somebody's
It's
going to
confusing
expect.
me. Yeah, when I'm shopping, I have to.
What
be
are you
truthful.
buying?
What is this person selling? Can I have all of it? 'Cause
Yeah.
It all looks cute together, but it won't fit me.
Yeah, and you have to just practice, I think. Practice shipping, practice. Now, I know you ship from home, as do I, and this is very clumpy icing here. I'm
Yes,
not
it
doing
is.
this well.
Yeah.
So your mail carrier comes to pick up your mail, correct?
I actually have 2 mail carriers. When I moved into the house that I have now, I went to the post office. I researched where the post office was in conjunction to the house. It's very close. And I introduced myself and I told them what I did and made friends.
Love that.
I buy them coffee. I treat them very well. I just
Yeah.
put it that way. And they send a truck, separate truck from my mail delivery to the house to get my packages every day. So I don't have to leave the house every morning, which is, they're the best. So USPS, thumbs up. Good job, guys.
You can schedule a pickup most places as long as you have a good post office, of course. I mean, everybody can schedule a pickup, but
Yes.
if your mail carrier is not picking up things for days at a time, it's a little bit of an issue. But any other tips that you could think of? So practice by selling what you have around the house and learning the process from beginning to end.
Yes, and I'd say don't sweat the small stuff. Concentrate on customer service, because even if you lose a few dollars on something in the beginning, it's not the end of the world. You just want to get used to the process.
Yes.
And you want good feedback. So build that good feedback, and you're copying me. That's how I was.
You're
marbling? You're marbling. I was trying for a tie-dye.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is clumpy. It's not. This is just making a mess. But it's okay because Bear will eat them anyway.
So true.
He's such a good son-in-law. He just takes care of all the extra
He's like
cookies
half
we
a
have.
dozen donuts today in one sitting. He like ate
What
2 and then 2 more.
Yeah,
and
Gordon
then
Krispy
yeah.
Kremes. Yes.
I didn't know you were tie-dyeing. That's funny. Tie-dye chic.
Yeah. Was I supposed to answer anything else? Did I answer that? I get off track.
I think so. I don't even remember what the question was.
Do
you have tips?
for beginners?
Yes.
Oh, you're using the scissors. Look at you.
How fancy. I was trying to do paisley, but then it turned into nothing.
Yeah.
Tips are, where do you see yourself in a few years? What would be your dream? I mean, you've come so far so quickly that I think you've really put a lot of time and effort and dedication and stuck with it and grown your knowledge. But where do you see yourself?
So to backtrack a little bit,
Yeah.
I'm more of a, I'm very, like when I decide to do something, I'm all in and I keep at it. I don't know that my visionary skills are great. I don't always have a long term, but what I'm committed to at the moment, 100% in. So if I had to choose where I'd like to be in the future, again, sorry, scavenger life, I'd like to have a store like they have. Because that way you can breathe, you can have days off. When you build a big inventory, like right now, I can go away for a few days and not have to worry about running home and grinding. I don't want to grind in life, and I don't want to fast flip. I don't want to have to feel that pressure. I want it to be something I build, and
You're building.
so yeah, and as I get older, my older years, so like I said, I'm 58, so when I'm 78, hopefully I won't be shipping out as much, but I'd still like to continue. I think it's wonderful. Yeah.
That's amazing.
If I could, I always say if I could do one thing with this is help other resellers who are seniors know that they can do this to supplement their income. That would be my dream job, is to go around the country and do seminars and help our mature.
Sure. Yeah, I think that was well said. And for those who don't know how to use Instagram or know how to use, your phone's camera with all the filters and settings, you really don't have to in the beginning. You just have to learn one thing.
Yes.
And then learn one more thing.
Yes.
Stick with what you know. If you know vintage silverware, list vintage silverware.
Exactly.
If you know car parts, if there is a thing, there is a market for that thing, as long as it's legal.
It's amazing. I mean, some of the things I've sold, I'm trying to think of it. It's like, who would want this? But there's always a
People do.
buyer. A buyer will come. Sometimes it takes time, but yeah.
And the more
Everything sells.
rare and unusual it is, if you're selling, let's go back to J. Crew, do you need my scissors?
No, I use
J.
this.
Crew jeans, and there's 400 pairs in somebody's size, it's going to be harder to sell your pair than if you are selling a belt with hands
Buckle,
that there's only one or two. It might
Absolutely.
take longer to find that right buyer, but
Yes.
that's I think what you're doing and what you're building. Because I'm somebody that goes through my inventory and I need to do it now. And again, some things we get at the bin for a quarter or 50 cents. So if it doesn't sell in 3-6 months, I'm fine with redonating it.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying to put a lot more research. No, you're doing it better.
I don't give up anything. Like if I bought this thing, I'm going to hold on to this thing till it sells.
That's awesome.
That's just, I'm not saying that's the right way. It's just what I do. I'm in it for the long. I'm committed. I'm committed to this thing selling.
Even if it doesn't sell, we're still committed. It's amazing.
Exactly.
And I've noticed, and we've mentioned this before, that as you've moved, your backgrounds have changed. So scrolling through your store, all 3,000 something items, you can kind of say, I've had this since Long Island, or I've had this since. So I think that's a fun tip for those of you who might want to build that long haul and build slowly and steadily. Once in a while, do something different so you know when something sells.
Yes. I had a mannequin. Melissa gave me Meg, we called her. And she was like this Amazon.
She's very
shapely- I was talking to people about it. She's very busty. She was amazing. And she did make clothing look like
She
the
did.
plus size clothing just looked beautiful on her. But it was a lot of work.
Oh my
It was
gosh,
taking her
so
arms
much
off
work.
and her wigs, and I was putting glasses on her. Now I'm just throwing things on a hanger on the wall or flat lays, or I don't do a lot of, I do have a dress form on wheels that I spin and throw things
And
on.
tell us about your backgrounds too, because I think that's really cool.
So the first background was in the Long Island house, because that's where I started, and it was just a pale aqua wall. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And after that, when I moved to the rental house, I had curtains. I put up curtain rods. They were just lightweight white and a black curtain rod, so I used that as the backdrop. And then when I moved
And if you had a lighter thing, you would just move across the black, and if you had a darker thing, you'd
and
move
that was
across.
good for like white blouses, and it really made them pop.
Yeah.
And then after that, I moved to painting some wood paneling, so we had that for a while. Then after that, I used marine vinyl. It's the vinyl that they cover boat seats with.
Yeah.
I did that.
Where'd
for a
you
while.
find that? Because I've also used that and moved
I
on.
got that at Joann's.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's where I
sold
got
by
mine
the
too.
yard. And I used the command strips, I think, to put that up on the wall.
Okay.
And I used to have to clean that because it would get schmutzy from all the taping.
Same.
And what did I use for that? Clorox wipes or alcohol or whatever to get
I think
that?
I used magic eraser
Yes,
type things.
good old magic
But
eraser.
generic.
And this last upgrade that I've done is just a bright white painted wall. It's flat paint, it's Bear's ultra white paint,
Yeah.
and I'm the happiest with that. It's very simple.
It looks
If it becomes
great. Your
dirty,
photos
I
have
can just-
really grown.
They have, I think,
Yeah.
right? It's always getting better and better. But I bet you I still have one or two items with Meg. Good old Meg. And I sold her.
Yes.
When I was done with her, I sold her. And made the connection in a diner parking lot. It was very odd. Big.
Here's a naked mannequin. Very busty
I was
bustiness.
afraid to take her out of the trunk of the car because it was a well-populated parking lot. It was
And
here
she
I was
looked
tired.
really realistic.
Yeah.
I remember when we lived in Pennsylvania, my husband and I, we had a long hallway, and then my office was at the end. And so anybody that came through either door, there was a naked, huge mannequin.
Yes.
And I had that a few times. I was like, oh, sorry about the naked woman at the end of the hall. But tell us about your lighting and how you've used different lighting over the years.
So in the beginning, I only had daylight, so it had to be a bright sunny day, and that worked out okay for a while. And now I have the, what is that called? Box lighting. I don't know what that's called. There's
I
a
know
name
what
to
you
it. It's
mean.
on a
I'll
truck.
put it up on the screen.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's called, but that's what I use. And I recently took down a very large tree in my front yard to give me more light. And so that's working out well.
Yeah, so I think what you've done over the years was put a lot of effort into a lot of things at the beginning, and now that you know what process
I.
work for you, you've streamlined and you've figured out what works, and you move very quickly.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I learn a lot. I'm watching all of you guys. I'm watching
Yeah.
what you post on Instagram. I'm watching YouTube.
You're
love,
really-
and I go to conferences and talk to everybody, and yeah.
You're very friendly.
Aw.
You made friends on the plane over here.
I did.
Did you go knock on her door?
No, but she has this really gorgeous beach house with her friends that have it, so I might stop over tomorrow.
My mom's like, do you know the Aqua House on Holmes Beach? I'm like, no, but
Yeah, it's like mansiony right on the water.
bet you we can find it.
Yeah, it's Aqua. It's meant to be.
I
There
know.
you go. Which did you notice I'm wearing?
You
Wearing your
especially
color.
got, you're only
I
here for a
did,
couple
I
days
did.
and you,
And can you guess who made this?
should I guess?
It's high end.
Oh, I was gonna dress barn.
It's Dress Barn.
No!
Yes, good guess. Very good. It's Dress Barn. Yes, but this is the only thing in the closet.
Do you know I worked for Dress Barn for 2 nights? They hired me and a whole bunch of other people to do inventory.
I don't know that.
I think I got paid really well.
really
I
well
couldn't-
when you were in college. In other words, $10 an hour, or
I
really
think
well.
it was like $25 an hour
What?
overnight. I couldn't even tell you what year that was. Anyway, Dress
Okay,
Barn.
I'm going with the very simple bird because I can't compete with this. Look at this. Can we see this? Can you guys see this?
Very good.
This is me.
I like your simple bird.
Thanks.
This is gonna take me 4 hours.
I can't talk.
And I
and
get
decorate.
$5.99. My mom gets $44.99 for her bird. You are selling on eBay,
Mhm.
and I know sometimes you sell on Facebook Marketplace.
I do, and offer up.
And
Just
offer
those
up.
3, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Posh? And I can cut this out if this is the wrong way to ask that. Do you see yourself? I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I get what you're saying. I feel that with the amount of hours that I'm spending on eBay now, which a lot of weeks is, I'm going to say right around 50 to 60 hours a week. So it's full time and then some. I feel like if I started to sell on Posh, eBay would definitely have their hours cut down because
Yes.
I need a social life. I need to have fun in life. I need to work on my house. There's only so many hours in the day. So I know people say diversify, and I fully agree with that. But at this point, I really have that goal of building a big eBay store.
And you are
So-
diversifying in a different way.
Exactly.
In different categories. and
Exactly,
trying
because there's
different
so many
things.
days that clothing is not selling, but those
Yeah.
hard goods you really pick up.
You
the
just
slack.
sold grape draw pulls
Yeah.
to a winery.
I know. How fun is that?
Right?
What did I get for those $40-something? And
That's amazing.
$1.97. Yeah.
Next question. Who would you recommend? I know you've mentioned Scavenger Life. If somebody is trying to learn a little bit more about reselling, who would you recommend? And this is going to be just who we think of on the spot. So if we've missed you, we are so sorry. We both follow a lot of people on Instagram.
I didn't even know you were going to ask me that. Okay, so let me say this. With naming these people, I don't say that I do everything 100% like they do, or I agree with 100%, but the people that I watch consistently for different reasons are some of the following. So Rockstar Flipper, Casey, I think his information is very good when there's a new seller update that I don't
Yeah.
understand, or I need to understand quickly what the changes are going to be. I watch his videos.
So that means usually eBay has quarterly updates of what they're
these
going
quarterly.
to change.
Yes,
Or,
and
yeah.
we have to know these changes and understand them and how to apply them to our store. So
And sometimes we don't.
yeah, no, I'm right there too. Yep. There's so many people. Loretta, I think she's Thrift Love Sell. Is that Loretta? Put on the spot, I can't remember her name. I think you guys know who I'm talking about. She's the queen of hard goods, that girl. And I love her no-nonsense attitude. She recently did a video with her husband. I'm sorry, husband, I don't know your name, but I like their attitude. They're hardcore. I like hardcore. If we're going to be doing this, all in. So, there's so many people.
That's good.
For different reasons. Yes.
You're going to say other people and I'm going to edit out. That's what we're going to pretend. She goes on to list like 100 other people.
I'm like, is that your thing?
Yeah. So Bear and I do know. If you could talk to somebody who's in charge of eBay, get to the right person and the right hearing
Oh,
ear,
they would be so sorry.
what would you want to change about eBay?
Wow. Okay, so recently I got a Vero. A Vero is a verified rights infringement something. I should know what this stands for, this acronym. But it's when you list something that you do not own the rights, the trademark name, and the company's not happy about it. So I'm sure you
I
all
still
know
can't
what
believe this is a thing, because when you buy something, you own it.
Right.
But sometimes, and Beachbody is a very well-known company
Yes.
that puts out like workout DVDs and a whole program. They do not want you to sell their items.
Right.
And they basically tell eBay, pull this item, or they have the right to pull it, and you get like a demerit on your account.
Yeah, it's a strike. And because the list of what these items are that we're not allowed to list or that we're going to get Veros for is not explained to us. This is my thinking. I think most eBay sellers want to do a really good job.
Yeah.
I don't think the majority of us
Agree.
are scammers or just, I think we want to make money for eBay, make money for ourselves, and please our customers.
We're trying.
Yeah. And this Vero list is such like an obscure thing that you don't
The
know
list
when you're
they have
listing
out if
something.
you Google it, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
is what, from like 3, 4, 5
An
years
eBay
ago?
representative actually told me on the phone, he said, that list has not been updated in years. He said, we representatives don't even know. So how are we supposed to know? So
Yeah.
eBay, help us out while we're creating the title or trying to submit something. If it's a known product that we're just not knowledgeable, but just give us a warning, give us a red flag saying, hey, did you know this might be a problem? Because I think most sellers will be like, okay, I'm not getting it. Because you can have your account restricted, suspended. you know, so recently I listed a loot crate, which you had explained to me what loot crate was. It was a simple like $10 t-shirt.
It's a subscription box. It's like we would list these and then get
and then you
a
get
strike.
a hero. Yes. Yeah. So, and they were going to restrict my account for 7 days, and that's big to me. I wouldn't be able to, I'd still sell, but I wouldn't be
7
able
days
to
is a long time when you're
list.
listing as much as you're listing.
So I called them, and they looked at my account, and they were good enough to say, we see your intentions. They do, eBay is good that way. They will look at your account, supposedly, this is what they've told me, and they see that you're trying, but this whole Vero thing has to be a better system for us. So that would be my one.
Agreed.
Yeah, and stop putting out updates. Let us all get used to the way eBay is for a while before.
I can't believe eBay is still going strong. Like from the, they started in the 90s, but we're 20 something years later. eBay is still well known among people.
I think what they're doing is unique, and I think they really need to stay with that uniqueness for odd items. I mean, because as Posh comes up and Mercari and all these other platforms, again, with the J. Crew example, everybody's going to, but I think eBay needs to embrace
the uniqueness.
The unique. Yeah, because Amazon doesn't have what eBay has that way, but yeah.
Get on the wall, eBay.
Yeah, come on, eBay.
I'm going to turn the air conditioning back on. Is that okay?
Yeah. I don't know if I've answered any of them. I just
No! Oh my goodness, so good. You did so great. Okay, so we both put on our Instagram accounts that we would be interviewing my mom. I would be interviewing my mom, and I asked for questions, and we haven't looked at them ahead of time, so I will filter as I go.
Okay.
Somebody wanted to know how you started reselling, and I think we've touched on that.
Yeah, I jumped in to make the move, and it surprised me what kind of money I was making. So let's just say that. So I knew that I could make a full-time living out of it, which is what I'm doing.
You are doing a full-time living, and you have a house that you own, and we're not going to say exact numbers, but if you really put in the hours and dedication and learning that you have and really applied yourself, you can support yourself.
Absolutely.
I was supporting both my husband and myself for about 1.5 to 2 years, years and years ago, and I had what I called a big room where I hung everything up, which was a nightmare.
I loved that room. Every time I came to visit, I would shop it.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did have people coming in.
What do you want for this? And of course she would give it to me. She was so good. But yeah, that was a good room. How many items did you have hanging?
Only about 1,000 to 1,300 maybe.
I'm thinking you had more. I'm thinking
I don't
over
think
2,000,
I did.
didn't you?
Because Bear and I had applied for a job in the retirement community, and we were accepted. And so I decided to put all 1,200 items out for 99-cent auctions.
Oh, I remember
that. And then I needed major help shipping. So you and Lisa flew in. I had friends fly in. Were you selling at that point?
No, I had no idea what I was doing. And how many items? We had like 3.
All of them. I put 99 cents. There were so many items.
Yes. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That we had a good time. We got pizza, and we learned to ship. Yeah, we were on it.
And I only got a few negatives and neutrals, and I was in the hospital at the time, so I didn't have, it was just whatever. Okay. What's your favorite place to travel? Good question.
Okay, this
From
is
where
kind
you
of
have
obvious. Yeah. I like staying within the United States. I have traveled to Europe, and I love the United States.
And the Caribbean, too.
Yeah, so I'm going to say it's right here. And Anna Maria Island is my favorite spot in the world. If I could go anywhere, yeah. The water here is gorgeous. It's clear. It's just, I went swimming today. Yeah.
It's a little cold.
Yeah.
I didn't go.
Yeah.
You said it's a little cold, but still the water is beautiful. It's fairly flat, clear water for the United States. It's really nice.
Yes, beautiful.
And it's not built up.
No.
The entire county, we have a county that starts like right across the street, but basically our entire county has zoning laws, so there's no buildings over 2 stories for the most part.
Right. Yeah.
So
that is
really
buildings
nice.
that are like bright colors.
Yes.
It's very like Calypso.
It is very
fun.
old style.
Yes, very fun. It's vintage. Corny.
Somebody's asking if, Nancy is asking if there's a blog you follow for tips and new ideas, which I think we touched on. Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
He needs to shave.
I win. It's always a competition. Who are we kidding? She won.
I'm not even sure what I'm doing with this. Okay, so we're good. What was Mellissa like when she was little?
Honestly, she was the sweetest, cutest child. She had huge cheeks. She was very smart. I was telling this story the other day. In kindergarten, she went in a district that had 23 kindergarten classrooms, and each one had approximately 20 children. So there was a lot of children in this district in kindergarten. And Mellissa finished #1 across the board in all the testing. And the teacher called me and actually said to me, we wanted to let you know Mellissa is really very above her grade level. And they thought that I had something to do with it, which I did not.
You definitely did.
No, I did not.
It's genetic. We're both very smart people.
No, not she. But she was sweet. You were quiet. You were good.
I did.
You were
yes,
you were
I
shy.
do remember quiet.
Yes. One time somebody was speaking to you and you hid behind me and you bit my butt. I was so nervous.
No memory of that. I don't think that actually happened.
We can cut that out. my daughter bit my butt.
What was your all-time eBay favorite sale?
Oh, wow.
This is from the bin pickers.
Okay. Favorite sale.
Will you be able to remember? You sold so
You know,
many
it's
things.
true. You will a blur. Okay, my favorite sale. I know what it was. I had a bracelet I personally owned. The bracelet was emerald-shaped amethyst, and it was handmade.
I know that bracelet.
You know that bracelet?
Yes.
By an artist, and it was just marcasite. It wasn't real high value, but I loved that bracelet. But the thing I loved about the sale was that the person, I was just ready to get rid of it. I just had too much stuff, and I wasn't wearing it. I didn't have that kind of lifestyle. And the person just loved it. She was just so excited to receive the bracelet. So I think I sold it for $300. I think it was.
Wow, good
Which
sale.
it was probably, it probably wasn't worth that much.
I don't know what we're just gonna.
That looks like a frog. Is it a frog?
It was supposed to be a bunny.
If you put dots on it, it'll look like, yeah.
Oh my goodness, somebody is asking, Good Vibes Flip wants to know what's the most embarrassing moment from my childhood that you remember. You have my full permission to say it. Oh, I know one. In second grade, I went to the bathroom in my pants because I was so embarrassed to read aloud.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
I totally remember that. Oh, that might be one of my earliest childhood memories.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're making that up. I don't remember that at all.
Another favorite memory, when we were at my aunt and uncle's house who lived on the beach on Long Island, my shirt got stuck on their banister, and I was like 12 or 13 at the time.
Oh, no.
And there was a cute boy there who saw my sports bra.
The shame. I don't remember that either. Where was I?
I'm not just telling this, except
What about
now.
the cat story? Remember the cat story? You and Lisa made up a whole cat story, and I was like, we never had a cat. And then you realized you saw it in a show, a TV show, and it was really not real. You had me convinced that I just didn't remember. Do you remember that?
We did have a cat.
No, we never had a cat.
That lived outside, not us. But there was a back porch, and I remember you were playing Walk Like an Egyptian, and Lisa and I had a cat. That might have also been from a book or movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. Most embarrassing, I don't even remember. Okay, most embarrassing. I don't know that you did anything.
Everything was embarrassing. We just thankfully didn't have the internet back then.
Yeah, all this filming, right? Our lives were not displayed for all to see.
I'm going to change my battery.
Okay.
Okay, you mix. I'll ask another question.
Okay.
Maybe I will. What would be your perfect day off, including meals? Elsie Creekside.
Okay, so I'm very big on salads. I know that's really boring, but I love salad. I love arugula, and I love baby kale as the base, and I put a lot of unhealthy stuff in it too, like dried cranberries and croutons, and yeah, so big salad. And my perfect day, is that what we're doing? Probably thrifting with the kids. It's a lot of fun because everything is a competition with us. Everything is like, don't we always have fun?
Do you remember when you and Lisa came down for the Salvation Army 99-cent day?
That was the best.
Were you thrifting at that time?
No, no.
I really drug you through it.
We were like the second people in line, and Lisa's even more competitive than you and I. That girl is so competitive, and those doors open, we like fought for cards, and how many items did you buy the day? Like 400?
Oh my goodness, an insane amount. I have no idea if I made money.
That wasn't the point. We
It
won.
was so much fun. We won. So thrifting. Okay, would you go to the beach? Would you swim in the pool? People are gonna want to hear fun things. Would you golf?
Oh yes, I love golf. I'm not a good golfer. I'm a fairly new golfer.
Oh, you've been golfing for years.
No, I've only been golfing probably 3 years now, maybe.
Okay, I consider that years.
And like I said, I lived on Long Island. Everybody golfs on Long Island. I never did. One morning I woke up and I said, I'm gonna golf. And it just came to me, kind of like reselling. I jump in, I went to the library, I got a stack of like 10 books, how to play golf.
Was this before the internet as well? No, it was only 3 years. Oh, why didn't you?
No. And I did that a couple times, and then I went to the local golf course, and it was early in the morning, and the groundsmen were there. They weren't fully open, but I introduced myself to the owner who was there and said what I was trying to do, and I was embarrassed to play, and he allowed me to come to that golf course every morning at like 4:30 in the morning to hit balls. And I did not understand you didn't tee up the ball every time. Like you tee up the ball when you're with your driver on the first, swing.
You know I was an assistant golf coach for a high school.
Well, Bear plays golf too,
yes.
doesn't he? He did? You were an assistant?
Yeah, because he needed an assistant last minute. And so he put me
So
down.
it was default by boyfriend?
I had never, husband.
Husband, oh,
But
okay.
yes, he was on the golf team.
Yes.
And so yeah, I have no idea about drivers or, what'd you say? Tee?
Yeah, teeing up the ball. So anyway, I love golf. I'm not a good player, but I play as often as I can. And yeah, so probably a day with
So
golf.
salad, thrifting, possibly golf.
Does it get any more exciting than that? You were just interviewing the most exciting person ever. But yeah,
That
so I
thrifting
do
was
that.
on your list.
Yeah.
And Bam Bam Shrimp. Bam Bam Shrimp?
Bang Bang.
Bang Bang.
Yes. Bang Bang Shrimp from, what's the name of that place? Bonefish Grill. I could just sit in a closet and eat that. So when it comes to our table, I'm very I don't want anybody else having it. I want it all for myself. Yeah. That's my
Would that
favorite-
be your favorite?
My favorite food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Elsie. Would love for your mom to open a YouTube channel and take us shopping with her. I have said that so many times my mom should be followed around by some kind of filming team.
If anybody's out there and wants to follow me around, I'm in.
Because you'd be so great at it. Your story is so unique. Let's be honest, there's a lot of people on Poshmark, eBay who are getting into it, and not as many established sellers that have thousands of thousands and are able to support themselves fully and are one person. That's pretty rare, I think, from what I see.
I don't know. I feel like it's more common to sell women's clothing. That's probably
Sure.
what I've seen. But I think there are a lot of people finding vintage, mid-century
That's
modern
true.
items. I don't know.
I feel like you would be great at it.
You want to follow me around the camera?
I do. I would love that. I am using all the jelly beans that aren't red, by the way. So yours are going to be all red. I don't want red jelly beans.
Why don't you like
Look
that?
how
Is it
pretty.
a dye?
No, I just don't like the color red very
Okay.
much. Is it the dye? It's not that healthy. Okay. Oh, you got an orange one.
Okay.
Oh, you could put M&Ms too. Okay, so I think that was all of the questions from my channel.
Okay.
Let's jump over on your channel.
Clearly you can see I'm not creative, I'm not artistic.
That's false.
It is?
Yes!
No.
You decorated flowers and we did crafts all of our growing up lives.
I copy. I'm a copycat. I can copy something
was
well,
before
but
the
originality, not so much.
I don't. I remember going to the library and taking out VHSs on how to learn things.
Oh yeah, we did that a lot.
Yeah.
That was before you too.
I learned how to braid because of that.
Yeah, German braids, I remember you saying. Wanted to German braid everybody's hair. I don't even know if that's an accurate term, German braid.
Dutch braid.
Dutch braid.
I still can only Dutch braid my own hair. I can only French braid other people's hair. I am not doing this any kind of regular basis, but I can only Dutch braid my own hair. Okay. What was the first thing you bought and sold?
Oh my word. I went to the thrift store and bought, I think it was $200 worth. You know, a lot of it's a blur, truthfully, because when you don't know to.
You said to me that sometimes you sell something and you have no recollection of buying it or listing it.
Oh yeah, now. Oh yeah. There's nothing like selling an item and then saying, "Gee, I hope I own that." Where did that come from? I have no recollection of it because so much is coming in and so much is going out.
Yeah.
That sometimes it's like, "Gee, that's pretty." Do I own that? Is that an inventory?
How often do you shop your own inventory?
Not as often as you would think. You know, I rather have the money. It always comes down to the money for me. I want the money.
Will this dress barn top be available after this interview?
No, I'm probably going to burn this because I've had it for like 10 years.
I couldn't even tell. It still looks good.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. These do kind of look like bird's nests. But the jelly bean colors are just horrid.
I put gold glitter on mine.
Oh, I think
Gold
I'm just
glitter
going to put
helps everything in
sprinkles.
life. Everything should have gold glitter. Or blue. Yeah, there's that.
Hey, speaking of nothing, glitter,
Yeah.
Tima, my niece, your granddaughter.
Yes.
Wow, I think that's
I
the
know,
first
a
time I said
Gigi.
that. I know, a
Yes.
Gigi, so
I love it.
sweet. Her birthday's coming up, and Lisa said a mermaid theme possibly. So I thought about sending a large bag of sand. We have sand that Bear puts out,
Okay.
and smaller bags, and then putting a little bit of glitter in it. And then Lisa can make them favor bags, like not opening the sand at all.
Okay.
But then tell the children to sprinkle the sand outside. Like it's mermaid sand from an actual beach. Do we like that idea, or is that a horrible idea? Lisa liked the sand idea. I wasn't sure
Are there
about the
cats
glitter.
in the neighborhood?
I don't know. I don't know where the children live.
For them to sprinkle it in Tima's backyard, or sprinkle like at the birthday party, or
No.
in their own backyard?
In their own backyard.
And what are you saying is going to happen when they sprinkle?
Nothing. It's just mermaid beach sand.
I ate your jelly bean.
Okay.
Where's
Well,
my-
this is much better. I didn't like the red thing.
I come to her house. This is what I get for dinner.
We all know I don't cook.
Yeah, I used to cook. Not so much anymore.
You know why you have a hair dryer and a coffee pot? Because I didn't have a hair dryer and a coffee pot. So the first few people that were guests at our house,
Yeah.
we don't own a coffee pot or a hair dryer. So
Yeah,
I
go
had
out.
to.
Go out and throw it to one. Oh
That's
my gosh.
exactly what we do. Okay. Next question. Who started reselling on eBay first? Me or you?
Definitely Mellissa.
What did you do before reselling? Have a great vacation. Thank you, S. Moore, 1970. Nope. Thank you, S'more, 1967.
Okay. You want to go first of what you did?
Oh, I think they're just asking you.
Oh no, we want to hear what you did.
Wow, I did a lot of things.
Name your first job.
Ice cream cottage. Well, I was a babysitter at the age of 11.
Right. Okay.
Yes, which was on the
very
same
good.
block.
You're very responsible.
You were right down the block. I ate a lot of fruit snacks.
Sorry, Sue. My child ate all your fruits.
I also remember writing down like things to like collect in nature because the twins were about 5 or 6. So I'd put like 7 twigs and then we'd walk around. But you were right down the road. Past that, an ice cream job on Long Island is called Ice Cream Cottage. I'm still receiving cards from the owner, John.
How many years later?
I think I was 14 when I started.
And how old are you now?
39.
Yes. And the owner is still now. One of the things that was amazing is Mellissa went in at 14, and
So-
tell the coffee story about having him.
Is your phone ringing?
Yes.
How rude. Do you want to
I know.
answer?
No.
No, you can answer. So the owner is just one shop, and he owned it with his wife, and they now have a boy who's probably like 16. It's crazy.
Or 30.
Yeah. So true. So true. He wanted to offer coffee, so we would probably open at about 11 or 10 maybe before that. But he got the thought in his head that he'd offer coffee, so I went in early to make the coffee.
Yeah,
That's kind of the story. It's
No,
not a good
you
story.
kind of guided him to opening the store much earlier.
Did
And
I?
he would get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to this ice cream shop, who, by the way, has the best ice cream in the world. That ice cream is serious good. And I don't even
Bear
like
says the
ice cream.
same thing.
People used to come from out of state. So
Yeah.
if you're ever in
They would
Boston, New
homemade
York, ice cream
every ice
cottage.
cream. I
Yeah.
remember making like lavender petal and macaroni and cheese. They'd have like a standard 20 flavors,
Yeah.
but we would come up with some fun ice
Yeah,
cream.
their peanut butter fudge cup or whatever. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
chocolate overdose.
But anyway, Mellissa would go in very early. We got to finish some of these stories.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, she would. She would.
You
wake
drove
up
me,
some-
I'm sure.
Probably. Drove those kids everywhere.
So I was like, let me go to Ice Cream Cottage at 4:30, but have my mom wake up at 4.
That's what moms do.
Yeah, so that was my first job. Before that, after I graduated college, where I worked at Bass and Denny's at college. Then I worked a lot of places at a before and after school kids program for daycare in the school, and a retirement community for many years, BMW selling cars. I would love the job, and then like a year and a half of it, I would be bored.
Which I think is common for people.
Is it?
You know, yeah.
So
yeah.
bored.
Yeah, if it doesn't change every day, it grows step,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, naturally I've had a lot of jobs. My main job was a mom to my 3 kids. Loved that. I was married years ago and helped my husband run a business we had together.
Yes.
Did that while homeschooling the kids. That was
And
crazy.
designing flowers.
Oh yeah, I had a business for a while called Out of the Woods, where I foraged. That was really a crazy job. We'd go into wheat fields and harvest wheat and create
So fun.
shocks of wheat, like big wheat stalks. We actually decorated, I think it was Ralph Lauren. We did a few designs for Calvin Klein. So yeah, all of that.
I remember cattails exploding in our attic.
So in other words, I've always had a crazy, crazy house. I don't know what else have I, fitness studio. I managed a fitness studio. What else have I done? Oh, it's just a lot. But yeah, and now selling reused items.
I know,
Yeah.
full time.
Yes.
Next question. How is it that I could watch yours and crafty thrifter stories and posts all day? I love keeping up with you guys, seriously. Almost made my husband fly to Lancaster to go to your last gathering.
Oh,
This is from Small Town Thriftin'.
Thank
So
you,
tell us
Small
about
Town.
your gathering. This is so cool.
Okay, so as you go to the same thrift stores, I should speak for myself, I wind up seeing the same women, the same people thrifting, and I'm chatty, I get to know everybody, and a couple of times people were nice enough to come up to me and say, are you Lavender Clothes Line? I follow you on Instagram. So that was really sweet, and over the course of a couple of months I met quite a few people, so we decided, Aileen and I don't know if Aileen wants her store name, we decided to have a get-together, a resellers get-together. And we did, so I just went around to the stores that I normally purchased at, and anytime I knew it was resell, I said, hey, we're getting together, and we had our first resellers meetup. It was great. I think there were 14 of us.
I don't know.
We went
Very
to a
successful.
smorgasbord, which was so good.
Was
And-
it in Lancaster?
yeah, in Lancaster County. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Shady Maple. So and it was wonderful meeting all you girls.
I
So
know that restaurant.
shout out to everybody. And I'm sorry, one husband came.
Oh.
So yes, poor
So
guy.
nice.
But
Very supportive.
yeah, we had a wonderful. You know, it's a great community when you connect with other resellers.
Really
I know.
is.
I know sometimes people are afraid to share what they do or share what they sold. I think there's so much in this country. I mean, there's a few secrets that I keep of hot items that I don't
Smart.
want everybody sourcing if they're in short demand. But basically, I like to support one another, and yeah, Yeah, and have a good time talking about what we're selling.
Can I share the story? I'm going to cut this out if I can. Where you went to different gas stations and bought phones?
Oh my gosh, okay.
How many gas stations did you hit?
17.
You called me and said, do you have any, what even was the gas station?
I think it was a Turkey Hill.
Turkey Hill's in your area.
Yes.
And I don't. But you found out that they were clearancing out.
That was another reseller who
Okay.
didn't have the time to do it. He called me and he said, hey, Turkey Hill is dumping all of their track phones, and they had 3 levels of track phone. I think it was $49, $99, $59, and $69,
Okay.
and they were selling them out for $5 a piece. The minute I heard that, I'm in the car, I'm tracking every Turkey Hill, went to 17 Turkey Hills, and bought every track phone I could get my hands on. So I bought in at 5, and the majority of those I think sold between 25 and 30.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it was so easy to list, easy to ship.
And I won't name other stores, but you do that for other stores as well.
Yes, I buy their clearance.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I would like to know how many cookies you plan on leaving your mailman. I'm sure they've been decorating cookies. I haven't sold anything this week because I shut down my eBay store, so 0 cookies. But Bear will probably eat the majority of cookies. Or all of them.
Very fun though, fun craft.
Yes,
Good
right?
job, Grandma.
Thank you, Bob TL. What is the meaning of life for you? Crusty Coupon.
The meaning of life for me is to love and be loved. I think it all comes down to that in the end.
So good.
You know, we just all want to be accepted for who we are, feel loved, and to love other people. When you love somebody else, it blesses you even more than them. So
It's true.
that's my answer. What
Love
about you?
that. Oh, wow. Can I say survive some days? To be as kind as I can and bless others. And you taught us that. So to pass kindness along.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you've taught me, like, a lot of areas have a big homeless community, and it
Yeah.
doesn't take much to even encourage people that are having.
It's
'cause,
true.
You know, everybody's got hardship in their life, and so
Yeah.
you guys are really,
We're blessed
You're
to
really a good
have a
example.
little bit extra time, a little bit extra money, a little bit extra. So it's a little bit easier
Yeah.
if you have unlimited. If you had unlimited time, money, health, energy, of course it's going to be easier.
Yep, absolutely.
We don't have unlimited, I'm just saying. Do you go to bed and get up at the same time? Have house cleaning routines, bigger barns?
I try to get in bed, ready for this, 8:30, because I'm not going to sleep right away. I've been gifted with a wonderful sleep pattern. I got it from my mom.
That's nice.
I can fall asleep literally in 15 seconds. So when my body's ready to shut down, I go right deep 10, I'm out. An earthquake could happen, I don't. But then I'm up at like 3, 3:30, 4, and I'm not tired. I'm rejuvenated, I'm good. Some days I do take a nap. If it's been like, I will thrift hard, I'll come home, I'll bring everything in, I'll hang it all up or do whatever, and then I will sleep literally for between like 9 and 15 minutes. That's my magic window, and get up and start part 2 of the day.
Amazing.
So that's just what my body does. It's not something,
Yeah.
I've been like that for a long time.
And they want to know your cleaning schedule. You have a very clean house.
Yeah.
It's beautifully decorated.
I just started saying I used to have a business in my house. Now I have a house in my business. So I need the rooms that I'm living in to be really clean and organized because the other rooms are chaos. So I like to think I have a cleaning schedule. I don't. I love Clorox wipes. I use those a lot. And Mellissa recommended the Dyson. Changed my life. So Dyson, if you're listening,
I tell everybody about the Dyson.
the Dyson.
The Dyson cordless.
Yes.
I think we have the V7.
I had the pink one. Is that what you have?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Oh, I love that thing.
I do.
And I have an Electrolux. I have an expensive vacuum. That thing has not seen the light of day because that Dyson is just, when you bring that much clothing into your house, you have major lint tumbleweeds blowing past when you're, that Dyson, I'm vacuuming I'm going to say every day, every other day, just to keep up with it.
Sure.
Yeah, and then just disinfect what I can and move on.
Is eBay the only platform you sell on? Do you think it's necessary to sell on multiple platforms? And there's a third question, we'll wait. Beauty service girl.
So I think diversifying is a very good thing to do. I didn't start out that way, and to jump into it now would be difficult. So
Yeah.
the majority of what I sell is eBay. I'm gonna say 95%. But I am crazy enough to pick up very heavy furniture where my legs are bruised from carrying it. But when I pick up furniture cheap and I know I can flip it for a couple $100 and I'm paying $5 for it all day long.
Yeah.
So I do that on Facebook Marketplace.
In our spare time.
offer up. Yeah. Well, that's not hard because you take a few pictures.
That's
There's no
true.
big rules. There's no seller updates.
Yeah.
And, somebody messages you and I make a meeting place that's like 5 minutes from my house. It's a store. And I say, okay, tell me when you're 10 minutes out and I'll meet you. If they don't show up, you don't get the call. If they show up,
That's
I
a
throw
good way to
shoes
do
on
it.
and I just bring it and we're done. So
Yeah.
I've sold quite a bit that way. So it
Amazing.
works good.
She also wants to know, do you have a weekly or monthly sales goal? You don't necessarily have to list numbers, but do you have a goal in mind?
Do you know my budget? I think it's important to know when you're supporting yourself this way how
That's
much
true.
money you need to live on. I think you really have to look at your numbers and say, okay, is this realistic?
I think that's true for
And
most people.
as long as I'm paying my bills and I have a little bit left over for fun, it's good. Yeah.
Christy Hem 703, when you started selling on eBay, did you trial it for a little while? How did you figure out what to buy to resell? She also has some other questions.
Okay, so I jumped in, deep into the pool kind of girl here.
You
If
did.
I decide, I take a while to decide something, but once I decide, then I jump in. And what was part 2? I forgot already.
It's okay. How do you figure out what to buy to resell?
Okay, so in the beginning, I Googled and comped everything, every single thing. Like, oh, look at this little egg cookie. I would be punching it into eBay to see how much egg cookies are going
You
for.
can look at completed and sold
Yes,
listings.
yes, and I judged from there.
Yeah.
Now I go more on quality, uniqueness, and you get a sense after 5 years
You have
of
a
selling.
vast knowledge of a lot of categories.
Thank you. I don't think I do. I think, okay, so I don't think I do. I'm one of 5 children, and my mom was a single mom, and we did not know about thrift stores. Just saying, we could have stood to know about thrift stores. But my mom really loved antiques and well-built things. So just in her normal conversation, my vocabulary was enriched by things like beadboard, wainscoting, mahogany, tiger maple. So I heard this stuff. And I think that's what's helped me. I don't think I have a vast knowledge, but thank you. I think I just...
You have sold
Yeah.
so many things in so many categories that if I said knives,
Oh,
you
yeah.
probably could tell me brands of knives.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, or store.
Like,
and
just-
gold. Yeah. Yeah.
Who can do that?
I think most people.
Don't ask Bear.
Yeah, oh, okay.
He thinks KitchenAid is like top of the
Top of the
line.
line. That's funny.
What is Bang Bang Shrimp?
We answered that, right?
We did answer that.
It's the appetizer at... I can never remember that. What's the name?
Boneyard Grill.
Boneyard.
I don't go to restaurants.
Bonefish Grill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything
yes.
with fish in the
Yeah.
title, I'm out.
Yeah, it's the only thing I eat there. It's like, bring out the Bang Bang Shrimp.
Natty Fox wants to know, on average, how many listings do you do in a day or week?
I love your name, Natty Fox. It's a great name.
Yeah.
Okay, so off the top of my head, I'm going to say probably around 100, 150.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. That's a guess, to tell you the truth. I just list, like right now, Lisa, my daughter, is doing photography. So she lists, she measures the items and gives me stacks of items around my desk. And I just list. A lot of days I'm just listing as much as I can. I'm not counting anymore. Just getting that stuff on there.
And we have spoken just in growth in general. We just, eBay talk as girls. That maybe you can teach her to list, or maybe have somebody you would like to get to the point where maybe you're shopping more, which is incredible because honestly, my thrift stores around here, I could go to the local Goodwill, which is huge, and walk out with nothing.
Yeah,
But
but if I could change
you're-
my business anyway, that would be it. I would just be shopping. And I would shop,
Amazing.
8 to 12 hours every day. and I would have people doing all the
shipping,
schmutzing,
yeah.
the steaming, the oxy treating, washing, sew this little button on, yeah.
It's so funny you're sewing little buttons on at this level, but you are. I know you are.
Oh yeah, it's a nice item, absolutely.
I'm on speakerphone. You're like, I'm doing this thing. I'm like, how is she even doing that thing? Okay, Nancy Coden 25. What is your favorite relaxation activity or time out?
I know you.
She's been working on balancing her life.
What was the question? I'm so busy saying.
Favorite relaxation.
Favorite relaxation. I do like going out with friends. So on a Friday, I usually try to end my day a little bit early. I go out to dinner with friends, I meet for appetizers and talk about something other than eBay.
Can we just all be in awe that my mom has a social life as well as doing all of this? No idea.
Yeah, social life is important and getting away from it all. But when people find out what you do for a living, guess what you're talking about, because people are amazed. They're like, wait, you do what? Can you make money doing that? I'm like, yeah, a little bit. And they want to know everything.
Still, even though eBay's been around for so long, and we've talked about that, it's still unusual to hear somebody doing it full time.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
In real life.
Yeah. So true.
Annabelle's Attic.
Oh, I know.
Approximately how long did it take you to get to a few thousand listings?
Okay, so Mellissa was kind enough to print up an award for me because the 1,000 mark was big to me. I like to have little celebrations.
When your store hit 1,000, not your 1,000th item.
Right. 1,000 listings, active listings. And that happened the first year I was in the house. So that was 2015. So about a year and a half, I'm going to guess, it took me to get to 1,000, because the more you have in your store, the harder it is to get the number up because you're selling more. So say you have 100 items, you're only going to sell maybe a couple, right?
Yeah,
so then if you list 100 more, now you have 200, but it doesn't work that way. It's an uphill. It's pushing a rock up the hill. But
2,000 to 3,000, I feel like took a little bit longer.
Absolutely.
Because
yeah,
that's a huge number.
Yeah.
Annabelle also wants to know, did you always do no offers, charge shipping, no best offer, or did you try different things, start to do it differently? Have fun.
For the majority of the time, I've done no returns. I did try it for fourth quarter this past year, and I turned that back off. Most of the returns the buyer did, it was for fit, even though I provide full measurements. So, but I turned it off. It was too much back and forth and too much emailing time. Yeah. Instead of them just opening a return, well, they had to explain the story, and I just.
You have to walk them through it.
Yeah, and I don't want to be mean, but I didn't have time for that. So I never do free shipping. Let me go back. Probably out of 3,300 items, I probably have free shipping on like 4 things, and they're very light, expensive things.
Yeah.
So if like I have something that's probably first class, but it's selling for $200, I'll do free shipping.
Good for you.
Yeah. I know
it's amazing. Seriously.
I know and the best offer thing. I do have best offer on things I don't know what they're really worth. So like say I pick up these scissors and I really don't know what this is, but they're well made and there's not a lot of comps. I'll put them on for $500 best offer, because to me that generates seeing what people are how much action is going to happen on this pair of scissors. So I use it a few times, but generally no. I just put my listings
Also, did you know when you list something and people do high or low, you're going to be on the top of the stack?
Yes.
So
it gives you placement.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes she will sell that thing for $400.
Isn't that surprising?
I know.
It's like, wow,
so good.
But then you always think, was it worth $600? I'm always happy with. Yeah.
I think those are all of our questions.
Okay.
Is there something we forgot to discuss that you want to bring up?
No, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for following my Instagram. I'm very humbled that you guys are interested in all the craziness that goes on at my house. And I want to thank you.
Sure.
For being a good interviewer.
Good.
And your cookies came out a lot better than mine did. So
they'll taste the
good
same.
job. This is true. Yes.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you have a specific question, feel free to comment below and I'll try to answer.
Sounds good.
Good?
Yep.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
We hope your day